You guys know how I feel about karambits, right? That's a really dumb question to ask. Welcome back, everybody. Let's talk blades. That's what we're into today. Reate knives. Now, when I say Reate knives, Reate, I've heard so many people coin it a different way. Reate, that's how I say it. What do you think of? Do you think of like the Mercedes-Benz of knives? I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, like Benchmade is like the top tier, to me, in my opinion. Benchmade are really, really good knives, or at least they used to be at a certain point. Their quality assurance department, I don't think that that's as good as it used to be, because the recent Benchmade knives that I've gotten have been kind of falling under that. So something else has to take that kind of, I don't know, what is that, responsibility? Something's got to pick up the slack. I think this knife company does a really good job at making very, very, very luxurious blades. And every now and again, they come out with something that just makes you kind of turn your head and go, what? This is one of those knives, Reate. This is my second one. You guys know the first one that I have showed you guys. I don't carry that because it's so pretty. It is very pretty. You know what? No, I lied. I carried that once or twice. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this. Now, the box is a little bit dinged on the bottom, so you got to forgive me on that. Here it is. Bowler N690. The Exo K aluminum. Exo K, I'm sure, is meant for karambit. This is the gravity knife of karambits. Okay, so I very much enjoy this knife. You get your Reate Molly patch. You get a sticker too, and it's literally the same thing, just in red. I already put that to use, so forgive me on that. You get your certificate of authenticity, and that's what the picture of the knife looks like. Now, what's really cool about this is that you get two in here. Not the same knife, but you get a trainer. You got your extra hardware if you need it, which I still haven't really figured out what those pieces are for, but I'm sure if I can figure that out if I really wanted to. You got your Reate microfiber cloth. Also really nice. Still in the package, obviously. Silica to throw at your enemies if you really wanted to. And so here are the blades, or blade, I should say. Now, before I get into this, I gotta tell you right now, this is not a knife that you want to just pull out the life blade and switch it open, and you want to use the trainer first. And what's really cool about this is that for the price tag of 160, give or take 160, maybe 170 with shipping and tax, you get two. You get this and you get a trainer. And depending on the color, then I guess the colors change. But this trainer teaches you how the knife operates. Okay, now I can't stress this enough. This is the kind of thing that you got to be really careful. I've stabbed myself a few times with the live blade, and I'll show you how I did that with the trainer, just so I don't get blood on the camera. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys really wouldn't care. You guys would love to see that, anyways, wouldn't you, you sickos? Anyways, so here's the trainer, and how this operates. All right, is that you have it in your hand, and what you do is, instead of touching anything here, you flip it and you press this button here. When you press it, I don't know if you guys, I didn't get that on camera. Well, I did, but I didn't get it fully. So I'm gonna kind of slow it down for you. You press this, you flip it up, and when that happens, the momentum of the knife swings this part open, and then it clicks the blade out in the secondary arm. And then letting go of the button, what you do is you let gravity take place, and it locks it in place for you, locking it open. And of course, you just go to the main grip right here. Neat. It is. It's very neat. It's not hard to do, but it is very easy to mess up if you're not confident in opening this with the live blade. Now I'm gonna tell you right now that the live blade weighs way more than this, because this is mostly plastic, and then you got some metal components here. But I gotta tell you, you need to practice with this first and foremost, so you get the rhythm down and so you understand how the locking mechanism works. And of course you can mess up with this and you won't get hurt, because this is a false edge. This is metal, it is, but it won't hurt you in any way. It's not going to poke you, it's not going to cut you. This is great even if you just need a trainer. Now for the longest time, I think the last karambit trainer that I had, it broke. So this was actually very fortunate for me. I didn't want to spend any more money to get another trainer elsewhere, because I never got around to it. So this came with a free trainer, so it worked out, and it's really cool. You could do so much with this. I just hit the table with this. So you guys see that I'm able to do this one thing to open it up. I'm not going to do that with the live blade under the camera, because I don't want to hit anything. I don't want to risk hurting myself or my table for that matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the live blade, but I don't know if I want to open it without hurting myself. You see what happened there? You see how it failed? So if you're not careful with this thing, you can hurt yourself. And I have hurt myself before. So before I bring out the live blade, what ended up happening was I popped it open like this, and it only opened up so far, and then it went right back and it stabbed me in the hand. So it's not there anymore. It's gone now. But I ended up cutting myself a few times. I've stabbed myself in there. I've stabbed myself in several different places. Oh, right here, you can still see that dot. That was when this actually went up and into my finger, like so. So I felt that too, and it was brand new. I think I got it the first day I got it. It's been about a week or so now, and it literally just stabbed me right in the hand, and I dropped it, and I was over my bed, so I put it, I was just sitting there looking at my hand like, oh man, and I'm bleeding a little bit, but it wasn't bad. It didn't slice me open or anything. And when I stabbed the webbing right here, it bled a lot, so I had to put a band-aid on that part. So that was a little bit not great. It's still a little pinkish right there, but I've stabbed myself a few times with the live blade. So when you do this, when you open it, you have to open it with a lot of force, like so, and you have to be able to just not think of anything else and just pop it open and do it quickly and confidently. That is, I can't stress that enough. If you're doing it weak-handed and you're doing it kind of like you're going to hurt yourself. You see how that failed? I didn't do it with enough force. I didn't do it with enough momentum, and that can happen, and the blade will fail and you will stab yourself. It's gonna suck. Now what's weird is that it comes with the pocket clip in this configuration, which to me, if I'm pulling it out of the pocket, I want it to be in this configuration, so that way it's going to be in my right hand pocket. So I pull it up, pop it open, and it's ready to go for use. Now you can do all kinds of crazy tricks. I've seen one where you can flail it out and then just have it come back and snap forward and lock in place like that, which I think is really cool. But I actually like doing this old method because you just have more control over it. I could do the whole flailing thing, but I feel that that's gonna put more wear on the knife for some reason. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion, but it is a great knife. So enough about the trainer. All right, you guys want to see the real thing. So just to let you guys know, like I said, you want to practice with the trainer as much as possible before you move on to the real knife, because this bad boy can and will make you bleed. I can't stress that enough. But I had to switch the pocket clip from this side to the other side. So if you see on this one, it's a little bit different because I switched the pocket clip around. So I can carry it in my dominant pocket. So I can get to it, pull it out, and then open it up. So I'm gonna do this very carefully because I don't want to cut myself. But it does work, all right? It does work, and it is very sharp. You got the Reate stamp right there. You also got this kind of scorpion tail insignia, and 690 on the bottom. Yes, this thing is crazy sharp, which is why I can't stress enough how careful you got to be with this thing. They come in different varieties, colors anyways. So you got black, you got tan, you got green, and I think I've seen a couple of other ones. I'm not entirely sure, but that was, so far I've been trying to get my hands on a black one, but I had to pick this olive green. That's okay. I was gonna pick tan, but the tan was a little too bright for my taste. So I went with the darkest I could get, and that was this green right here. It's not a bad look. It really isn't. It makes it look a little bit more intimidating with this color. But I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun opening and closing this knife. And you can do variations of how this is gonna work. This is a little bit more of an aggressive curve than what I'm used to in certain karambits. And that's fine. If that's how it's gonna be, you know, every karambit coming from different regions and different designers is gonna be slightly different than others. But this one's pretty aggressive in curve. As you can tell, it's a little bit more, you know. So that's actually a really good thing. You can catch more material that way. If you're a regular practitioner in Filipino knife fighting or Indonesian arts or whatever kind of karambit style that you guys are into, this is going to be a very, very useful and effective weapon in the right hands. But I must tell you, the only problem that I have with this is how long this mechanism is going to last and how durable it's going to be in the heat of the moment. What I mean by that is when you're holding this knife, okay, my hand is already touching the button. The button's already down here. So having the pocket clip in the way actually prevents me from really, really gripping down and releasing that. But even still, you're having this held where this mechanism cannot disengage the lock or the way, so it keeps it closed. Flailing with this knife, I don't suggest you do, simply because the locking mechanism could fail at some point if you do hit something, or if it just comes back. It's really aggressive. So I don't know, that's just my personal opinion. If you guys, you know, are confident in your flailing, for those of you who know what that is, that's where you extend your grip with this knife, putting the thumb forward so it doesn't come back at you, and you use it as kind of like an extension and as a striking tool using the back end of the knife, which is it's a really cool move, but I don't know how efficient it's going to be with something with such an intricate design as this. If it's durable, it's durable. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But because of it being a button lock design and because of it being how it opens and closes, I don't suggest flailing with it if you want to keep the longevity of the knife up to par. So this is just my personal opinion. Is it a collector piece? Sure. Is it something you should EDC? Not so much. I don't really advise anybody EDCing a karambit. It's a bit extreme for a knife that you would use just to open up boxes or when you're in the workplace cutting rope or whatever. I don't think a karambit is something that anybody should EDC because it's originally designed to be a self-defense tool, more or less. Of course, there's always going to be somebody that's, I EDC my all the time. My brother EDCs Fox karambit that I gave him, and he doesn't stop carrying that thing. He loves it. That's everyone, you know, my personal opinion is just what I'm stating. Anybody can EDC whatever the hell they want. You freaking box cutter, all I don't care. But something like this, I wouldn't EDC simply because it's just, this has so many things about it that to me doesn't really seem like EDC appropriate, or for that matter, it just seems a little overkill to EDC something like this. It is cool, and it does sit nice and deep in the pocket. You see how the ring kind of sticks up a little halfway, so it sits pretty deep, so you don't have this ring sticking out of your pocket too much, but it does sit pretty deep in the pocket. So it's very unobtrusive. It's not yelling, hey, look at me type thing. And it is nice. It's very comfortable in the hand, and it just works very, very well. So, and of course, you got your serial numbers right there, and you got the date. So that's actually kind of cool. Now, when you close this one-handed, I do the same thing. I hold this part down. Okay, so what you do is then you let this slide back and then you close it one-handed like so. I don't know if you guys already caught on to that, but yeah. So you can switch it, like I said, I've already said it before, you can switch it from right to left hand, but it is only tip up. No, you cannot switch it tip down, obviously, because that's not how the knife is designed. But it is a really, really nice blade. So we're going to go ahead and get into the specs of this knife, at least the ones that I'm able to do anyway. Get into the weight. You're looking at a 4.57 ounces. Now, that's just on the real blade, the live blade. Now, on the trainer, it's going to be a little bit less. 3.70. What the hell? Okay, yeah, no, it is. 4.57 ounces. And then 3.70. Yeah, so there's a significant weight difference between the trainer and the live blade. So the reason why I wanted to do that for you guys is so that way you understand that when you do mess around with this thing, this is going to have a little bit more weight. So when you flip it and when you open it for the first time, this is going to be a little bit more heavier. And to some people, it might not matter. To others, it could. Now, that's what ended up happening to me. When I was using the trainer, I've noticed that the trainer is very light and very easy, very fun to use. But when I switched over to this guy, I felt that there was a difference opening and closing it, deploying it in a way where it actually ended up coming back to me and hurt me a few times because I wasn't used to the weight. So I was used to the mechanism on how it opened and closed, but sometimes it would have a little bit of blade stick. So the mechanism that rotates the blade in and out, not this first one, but the second one, the second arm right here, got stuck. I would see that it would kind of be like meh, 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 or meh, meh, you know? So that's the sort of thing that kind of stabbed me, but that was with the live blade. This is actually way more fluid, and it just feels like there's no resistance. With this, it's a little bit different. I do feel that there's a little bit of give there, but I think that that's normal. I don't know if that matters, but it can make this knife feel different when you are operating it. So it's not a bad knife. I very much enjoy it, and for 160, 170 bucks, you get two. You know, that's kind of a really awesome thing. Obviously, it's not the same material. This is aluminum, this is plastic, but either way, you still get bang for your buck. So if you're interested in a Balisong karambit, this is something that I highly suggest you get, and if you're able to get it, do it. This is an awesome knife. It really, really is. I say that even though it's bit me or stung me a few times. Kind of like a raptor's claw. This thing is really aggressive. All right, so you're looking at, yeah, around about a 3-inch blade. The cutting edge is 2 3/4, 2 7/8-ish, give or take. This kind of knife, to me, is more self-defense-y than anything else. I've seen people do like the forward flipping where they just kind of, it's very much the same. You just kind of do it backwards, though. You flip this thing open, it pops open like this, and then you flip it forward, and then it comes open, you got yourself a forward claw. But that's not exactly, you know, what this is designed for. You can do it. I've seen it done before. Do I do it? No, I don't. I don't really understand why anybody would. It just seems a little, to me, it's a little bit, yeah, so it's doable. You saw me do it just now. But it's not, I don't know. To me, it's not really the, yeah, see, it's not, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. If you get this, it's a lot of fun. I'm sorry, my calipers are still not working. I need to get new calipers. This thing is a bit chunky, I do have to tell you. But it doesn't really bother me. It sits in the pocket pretty well. So, either way, Reate knives, Exo K. Get yourself one, man. Like, it's so much fun. It's a lot of fun. carrying it, just be responsible about it. So go ahead and slash that like button, stab that subscribe, slice that bell icon so you guys are notified anytime I post new things in these craziest of times. Everybody, please be kind, be safe, carry responsibly, and I'll see you all amazing people in the next video.